Alright, so I already recorded myself doing an intro and everything, but for some reason, the first 2 minutes of my clip is just completely gone. So, I just wanted to let you know before this video starts. It's just gonna jump into me already describing my hunter class because for some reason it just didn't save the first 2 minutes of my clip. But to summarize, pretty much all I was saying is like I was pretty much just explaining why I use what I use. Like you'll still see the stuff on the screen, so it's fine. I don't remember everything that I said because I don't script in my videos, I just talk. So yeah, sorry about that. I'm just letting you guys know that's why it, like in a few seconds it's just gonna cut to me already talking because my clip just corrupted and I'm not completely sure why. So hopefully you still enjoyed the video, hopefully it's still helpful, and yeah, I'll get on with it now. Also, I figure I should say, like I always do, give a disclaimer that these are my personal classes. I'm not saying these are like literally the ultimate classes that you can use, but I personally believe these are the most effective ways to use these classes. I'm also going to be talking about each class of the Predator. So this, I didn't do that in my fireteam video and I really should have. So that video is the inspiration for this video as well because it did really good, and a lot of people, like a lot of my friends, were telling me I should do one for Predator, and I didn't feel I was qualified at the time to do that. So after playing for a few months, I feel like I understand how to use each class. So yeah, hopefully it's still helpful. Like I said, I'm gonna stop rambling and go ahead and let you get into the classes. Destroying me when I get close, right? Then I'll use my bow and my plasma caster more, and that's where the motion detectors come into play because I can keep up with where they are, keep track with them. But if they're not, if they're like fucking bots and they just let me melee them, then I'll just do that, and then the motion detector isn't needed, and that would be better to have a bear trap in that situation. But I think it's better to just run the motion detector and audio decoy just to be safe. Now, as far as perks, I feel you gotta run impenetrable on every character. All right, some people say you don't need it on the Berserker. I run it on the Berserker. I don't care, right? I use Adrenal Boost because you need to be able to zip, zoom, play Super Mario Brothers, hopping and skipping around them the whole time. You cannot stand still, is the point I'm making. If you're in a tree and you're trying to play more reserved, then sure. But once you go in for that swing and they start shooting you and parrying you, they're going to keep their eyes on you. So you want to be able to move around and actually like keep the advantage, if that makes sense. I don't know if the Predator really ever has the advantage in this game, but sometimes it really doesn't feel like it. But yeah, just for reference, I just got done playing a match as the City Hunter, and one fire team member, one Dutch deleted my entire health bar. Like, well, half of it. He deleted an entire half of my health bar and sent me in the second wind, and I'm just sitting there like, what? Like, they can do that? Like, I've been playing fire team this whole time, and it's rare that I demolish a Predator that fast. I had impenetrable too. He just melted me. I don't know how. But I got Fearless on because Adrenal Boost helps out if I'm just trying to melee, but so does Fearless because that just makes me do more melee damage, and the combi stick doesn't do all the damage in the world. So at this point, if I'm not running the Elder Sword, I'm meleeing you with a combi stick and a wrist blade. But with the Elder Sword paired with this, yeah, you just shred people that aren't Dutch. Anybody else is getting shredded by this. My next class is the City Hunter. It's pretty much the same, but here I have the Elder Sword. I could equally use the combi stick, but this class has more movement speed, so I'm thinking like it's just ever so slightly more too. So I'm thinking to myself like I can get to them quicker. So that's why I use the Elder Sword, because it doesn't have as much lunge, it feels like, as like a combi stick or a wrist blade. So I run it on this guy because he has slightly more movement speed. I'm gonna get in there, same perks for the same reason I just said, but on this class he has more gear. So now I run the bear trap, and he has this wrist launcher. I haven't actually used it, but I've been told that it's ridiculous and it's really good. So I'm not sure. I haven't actually used it. I played like 3 matches with this character and forgot it was there. So yeah, I run the bear trap. He has the wrist launcher. Sorry. So I have range and close range covered. You gotta run a healing kit. Let's be real. Like, you could kill pigs, but you can't bank on the fact that there's gonna be pigs around you at all times. So that's my class for that. It's pretty much the same because it's pretty much the same character. Now, some people are going to disagree with this, but I feel like running 2 melee weapons on the Berserker is the best idea. Now, the description says stronger frame allows for heavier melee attacks. I'm assuming that means that it does more melee damage than the other classes. So, yeah. The combi stick also works. Oh Jesus Christ, that voice crack. The combi stick also works as a ranged weapon. So what I like to do with the Berserker, like I'll go ahead and tell you, like obviously I have Fearless. Let's be real, it's the Berserker and Impenetrable. Like I'm not dying, but um, the Berserker, pretty much my game plan is to get in, because he's pretty slow, right? When I get in with my lunge, I'll use my lunge to get close. I won't even sprint at all. I'll keep lunging until I'm beside someone, knock them down with the Elder Sword in like 2.5 seconds, and then I just perch up and aim my combi stick at their body, and when someone revives them, I either throw it at that person and get the other person down and damage the other person, which is the goal, or I just knock the other person back down, and now they're like, oh, he's gonna keep watching this guy, so now they gotta like try to figure it out, like, are we gonna pick this dude up? I think that's the most effective way to use the Berserker. Most of the time I see people just run out and they just spam their attack button, and they're just like, I'm a Berserker, I'm not gonna die, and they get demolished. You will get melted. It doesn't matter what class you use, you will get melted if you fight a good fire team. So I think your best bet is to down one with the Elder Sword and then just gatekeep his body with the combi stick and just throw it at people. You also got the plasma caster to back you up. Sometimes I'll even down people and throw bear traps, but I actually have a better strategy. If you're using mainly the Berserker because he has more health, but you can do this with any class. If you kill 3 people and you just let the 4th person, just let him survive, and when he goes to the reinforcement, throw your bear traps around it, and then they just spawn into the bear traps, and then you just get more kills with this broken sword. So yeah, that's how I play the Berserker. That's my class all the time with the Berserker. It's exact carbon copy every time. I never change this. My Hunter class is subject to change, like I said, but the Berserker class is always there. Now you probably noticed my next 2 class hate you. It's because these 2 classes are like the meta classes, I'll say, that I see most people use against me that are like sweating their ass off. The first one is just a Hunter, but it's Elder Sword and Handheld Plasma Caster. If you play this game, you've seen this and you've used this if you play this game. It's a Hunter, so I put the same gear on. You can put a bear trap. You can take this off and put a bear trap if you want. I do motion detector, audio decoy with Hunter. I've already explained that. Perks, literally the same. Impenetrable, Fearless, Adrenal Boost. It's a Hunter. Like, the Adrenal Boost is going to be nice because you can hop and skip around everywhere. The Fearless is going to be nice because of this. And then Impenetrable just help you sustain yourself a little bit longer. Like, you don't die immediately, but you still got to play a little bit safe. But the idea behind this class and the next class, actually, I'll explain that when I show you the next class. So this Scout, this is the most annoying thing to fight in this game. This class right here. This shit is annoying because that stamina is all the way up, that movement speed is all the way up. Yeah, he has low health and low gear, but this class is the definition of Super Mario Brothers. People don't sit still with this class, and you're not supposed to because he doesn't have health. But you could obviously put on a bow. Like if you think about it, you're like, I'm playing Scout, I should put on a bow. No. You put on this Elder Sword and this Handheld Plasma Caster. You put on downrange. I got height advantage, but you could change this for like Adrenal Boost. He doesn't need it, but it'd be even better if you put it on. And obviously Impenetrable for that extra sustain, like I said. I also got the motion detector on just for tracking. But the reason why I put an Elder Sword on this class without Fearless is because this character is very fast and snappy. Like, you just get in and you do one attack with Elder Sword, jump out, jump back in, one attack, jump out, and you just keep doing that. And that's what people do to me when me and my friends play this game. Every time we get a Scout, we know that they're gonna hop and skip around, they're gonna hit us a few times, he's gonna pull out the plasma caster, shoot us a few times, and this thing does hella damage when it hits you. And then they just keep jumping around you, pretty much just circling you. It's almost like you're fighting 3 predators at once. Like, it's actually kind of ridiculous, but that's how they gotta play. Like, I respect it. I actually enjoy fighting people that are sweaty like this in this game because it's more interesting than just fighting a Berserker that's just gonna, like, it's more interesting. So yeah, that's my idea behind this class. If you're gonna run Scout, I recommend Elder Sword. If you put on 2 ranged things, that's on you. You could also do the snappy hits with just a wrist blade. So if you did want to run the bow, so you could have best of both worlds, so you got a plasma caster for closer range, bow for longer ranges, and when they go revive, you can check them with the bow, and then they can't get the people up. When you have the bow in your hand, you automatically melee with the wrist blade. So you could also just do that. Like, you could jump in, wrist blade twice, jump out, jump back in, wrist blade twice, jump out. Then you could pull out your plasma caster, blast them, you know. You might even melee with the wrist blade when you have the plasma caster out, I'm not sure. But Yeah, that to me is the most effective way to use the scout. Now, this to me, like the elder, I'm gonna be honest, is kind of underwhelming. I don't ever use this class. I used it maybe like 5 times, but I just set it up the same way I set up the hunter, except I give him down range because I get close to people less. He has less health and less movement speed than the hunter, but he has more gear and more stamina. So that just means that he's gonna get to you, not as fast, but he's gonna get to you. Unless you leap, then it's pretty much the same every class you play. Like the stamina really only matters for just getting from point A to point B. Like the predator doesn't lose stamina for meleeing, so like I don't think it does. I'm fairly certain it doesn't. But I play it safe with this class whenever I do use it, and I run my bow and my elder sword. Best of both worlds, like I said, pretty self-explanatory. Down him with the elder sword, shoot him with the bow. Sometimes I might swap this bow out for the combi stick and do the exact same thing, but personally I don't like this class, so I just don't use it. But there's one class I didn't actually mention, and it's the samurai. I think this is the worst predator in this game. Like, people will disagree with me. People did on my samurai video, my review, but I think this is the worst predator in the game, personally. It's argued that people could say it's the scout, but dude, if you use the scout right, it can feel like the best predator in the game because you're barely getting damaged. You're hard to hit. This dude is slow. His stamina's low. Like, yeah, he's got slightly more health than the hunter, but like, why would I not just use the berserker over the samurai? Like, he has more stamina and movement speed than the berserker, but that's where the leap comes in. And he does more melee damage. Like, the berserker is just a more effective samurai to me. So if you're gonna use a samurai, I guess I just recommend mixing it up the same way that I do here. I guess use a bow and an elder sword because, like, he has decent health, so you can get in, but it's getting out, right? I'm guessing that really is what messes with me with the samurai, and it's like the class just feels like a weaker berserker. Like, I don't know why, it just does to me. I would rather use the hunter and the berserker and the scout actually over this character. So the best thing that came from his update was that samurai sword, and I don't even use it, but it's annoying to fight sometimes. It's easy to parry though. So I know some people are wondering, like, why didn't you say anything about the katana? That's because it's just very easy to parry. The reason I don't use the net gun is because you don't really need it. Like, you can take it, it's nice to have, but you don't necessarily need it. The smart disc to me is not good. This is probably the worst gear in the game for the predator to me. The war club sucks because it's so slow and it's easy to parry. So if a predator comes at you with a war club, chances are you're going to parry him, so it won't even hit you. And the sickle, I haven't used it since the buff to the damage, but before this patch, before they buffed the damage, it did the same damage as the wrist blade, which is stupid, so I stopped using it. But I feel like I should test it out again. If it does more damage than the wrist blade, then I could see people using the sickle. I could see it being viable, but before it did the same damage as the wrist blade, I'm like, why would I put this on? Like, really? I also didn't put the alpha or the jungle hunter in here because they're the same as the hunter. Look at the stats, right? Jungle hunter, 3 bars. Hunter, 3 bars. Alpha predator, 3 bars. They're all the same. The alpha predator and the jungle hunter are basically just skins for this guy. So if you're going to use the alpha predator and the jungle hunter, just pretty much go with my hunter class. It's pretty much all the same. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the best class setup for this. This wasn't the same as the fire team class because I can't pinpoint one specific thing that you should always use as the predator because your meta is going to change over time. Like, you're going to use things that you don't like and things that you do like. This is all based off opinion. Sorry if you can hear my family yelling in the background. They're going crazy in there. But yeah, that's pretty much all for me. Like I said, if you're using hunter, I recommend using the best of both worlds with the bow and the melee. Berserker, go both melee. This is just a recommended class because everybody, all the sweats use this, especially with the scout. This is probably the most annoying, most effective class in the game because you can hop and skip around. And like I said, you can either go bow or you can go bow with handheld plasma caster to have close shots and long range shots and then just melee with your wrist blade, or you could put the elder sword on and do even more damage when you get in and poke them and they'll be even more scared. You could do the same thing with the katana. The Elder to me, same as the Hunter class, except I put on downrange because I go in less with him than I do with the Hunter. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, if it was helpful, if you have anything that you want to say, put it in the comments. If I helped you out, consider subscribing. I make a lot of videos on this game, and now that I got a new mic, which is one of the points I should have made at the beginning of the video if I didn't, I think I'm going to start putting out more videos because now I actually have a decent mic and I'm not just using an Astro A10 headset with bad mic quality. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, whatever, and yeah, just look out for future content. I'm out.